שושנים.
דודי לי ואני לו, הרואה בשושנים.
דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. דודי לי ואני לו.
דודי לי ואני לו. הרואה בשושנים.
דודי לי ואני לו. הרואה בשושנים.
Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. My goodness. I think it's about as packed in here as I've ever seen it. And I think because everybody was really excited to be outside, and we were like, I will not be defeated. I'm not gonna not go, even if it's inside. And I have a secret. The more packed a room is with people davening and singing, the better it is. Like, the better it is. You think, when you sit down, you're like, I'll sit over here, and then nobody will sit next to me, and then I'll have space. Guess what? It's better for everyone if you are cramped in like a sardine, and you have more fun too. And you know it. We all know it. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to be here with everybody. Is there anybody who is with us for the first time tonight? Anyone? Yes! Yes! Welcome to you. We'll have an opportunity to meet you all later. Let's just arrive in mind and body. Take a couple breaths and just arrive in your seat and find your body slowing down, shoulders relaxing, week beginning to melt with every exhale. If it helps, you can even count 7 breaths, 1 for each day of the week that brought you to this day. And just beginning to let the week exfoliate off you like dead skin cells, and arriving at this moment. So, famously, the Jews received the Torah outdoors in what might have been like the first act of public space Judaism. Public space Judaism was like a watchword when I was in rabbinical school. They were like, what would be really innovative? Take Judaism to the supermarket. Like, set up a table in front of the, whatever aisle and tell people why that thing is Jewish. I was like, I think Chabad thought of that a long time ago, but okay. In any case, we always love to do services outside at North Center Town Square, partially because it really is. It's like sharing with the world who we are, like the beautiful music, the beautiful traditions, and we're always really happy to do that. And the only thing that could deter us is rain. I suppose snow, but but rain. So anyway, you'll have to just close your eyes and imagine the scenery, you know, the CVS and the parking lot. And the cars going by and the honking and the sirens and the people yelling profane things out of their windows. So, okay, maybe it's not so bad in here. And if folks on that side, if you discover that you want to open and tilt those windows to let in a little cross breeze, feel free. See, on this side, folks have already done it. Go for it. One other little bit of housekeeping is that for people who came for pizza, and then by the time you circled the building 4 times and found parking in a lot 7 blocks away and walked over here at 6:15 and it was gone, we ordered another one. So in like 10 minutes, if you wander outside, if you are just feeling so hungry and you need to eat, Anna Gelman ordered a pizza, and there is pizza in the back for anyone who just really needs food, okay? And then after services, there's more ice cream. Okay, that's the housekeeping. All right. So Sunday night, we'll be celebrating a Jewish holiday I didn't even know existed until I was a college student, and it was cool to stay up all night doing anything, including studying Torah. How many of you were aware of the holiday of Shavuot growing up? Anybody? All right, put your hands down. How many people were not aware of the holiday of Shavuot growing up? Yeah. I went to Sunday school for like 14 years, and I wasn't. So we're in good company. And I love the synagogue I went to. I think it was just generally after the curriculum had ended in May. So, you know, it wasn't on the calendar. But I also have to say, this holiday, whose theme is receiving Torah, it doesn't conform to the usual holiday structure of, you can say it with me, they came to kill us, we survived, let's eat, right? That's Hanukkah, it's Passover. It is not anywhere in the vicinity of Shavuot. Shavuot is this mixed multitude of Jews and non-Jews, all people who had been oppressed slaves in Egypt, wandered in the wilderness for 3 months, and then stood at the foot of a mountain, which we sort of pretend to know where Mount Sinai is. I've climbed it, but I didn't actually think I was climbing Mount Sinai, because the fact is, they don't know where Mount Sinai is. And it's actually kind of important that they don't know where Mount Sinai is, because the point is, it could have been anywhere. The Torah was given in the wilderness so that it belonged to no one and everyone. And this ragtag bunch of people came together, you know, across all of their many, many differences of age and background and tradition. And they were complaining for 3 months straight and being hard on Moses and complaining about God. And for like a millisecond, they stopped complaining and they stood still. And they took in this group, this moment, this opportunity, the wilderness, just everything around them. And they became, Rashi says, Ki'ish echad belev echad. These millions of people became like one person with one heart. One person with one heart. And in that space of listening deeply, and shutting up long enough with all the reactions and all the, I disagree, and I see it this way, shh. They actually were able to experience divine revelation. And that's what we celebrate on Shavuot. Doesn't fit onto a bumper sticker so well. And then, about 5 minutes later, the Israelites go back to complaining and whining about the desert and the food and the accommodations and the journey. And so the whole Torah is the story of wandering. The whole Torah, successes, failures, high expectations, deep disappointments. It's the story of a relationship. And so on Shavuot, we remember this like absolute pinnacle relationship moment, a high point, when we became quiet and stopped whining long enough to be really in God's presence and feel it in us, around us, and to see it in all the people around us. So take a moment now This is like our little Sinai. Imagine, over 1 million people all at the base of the mountain, and we're like a little fractal right now, reenacting that. But take a look around. Imagine, standing in a place, all having the same experience, but all knowing you're having a completely different experience. Tradition says that God spoke to people, every single person, in the specific way that they could hear the lesson they needed to draw from Torah. Anyway, I think the structure of a Jewish week imitates what the Torah does and what the calendar does with wandering, and Sinai. 6 days, we wander, we have great expectations, deep disappointments, successes, failures, and then on Shabbat, we stop, and we sit still, and we come together as a group, and we try really hard to connect across lines of difference, to stop arguing with each other, with the world, and to just appreciate who we are and who we're with and where we are, and say thank you and thank God. So I want to invite you now to just close your eyes and sit up a little straighter. And breathe. Inhale this moment, this little reenactment of Sinai that we get to have for this little 24-hour period starting now, where we don't have to fix everything or argue with things. We can appreciate what is actually good and working, and try and see in the things that aren't what we might learn or who we might learn from. Let's have fun tonight. Let's open up to page 2. Ooh, that sounds terrible. I'll try that. Lechu. 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 You could just do that all night if you want. Lechu. You can join me on the words here. Lechu. Nirana nala donai. Nariga letzor yisheno. Nirana nala donai. Lechu. So you try to
bottom of 2. 40 shana kut bedor, va'omar am to'e levavhem, v'hem lo yadu drachai, asher nishbati be'api, im yuvon el menuchati.
I'm loving all the kid energy in here tonight, and I hope it rubs off on some of the overgrown children, aka adults, that have sometimes we forget how to dance and how to make noise. And so I want the little ones to inspire us tonight. We're on 3. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru B'yom Le'yom Yeshuato, Safaru Vagoyim, Kevodo
צדק ומשפט מכון כיסו. יש לבנותך ותלך סביב צרה. שמה ותשמח ציון ותגלנה בנות יהודה. למען משפטך אדוני, כי אתה אדוני עליון. כל הארץ מאוד נעלית על כל אלוהים. We're in the middle of fire. Wars are rual atzadik. ולישראל שמחה, שמחו צדיקים באדוני, והודו לזכר קודשו. מזמור שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה. Upstairs in the abject chaos that was happening, there was so much joy, and somebody said to me, my goodness, this is a great change of pace from the week. You know, I thought like exchanging one form of chaos for another, and one kind, right, is like kind of destabilizing and awful, and then the other kind is filled with joy and also a little destabilizing, but somehow like filled with awe. And so I just, you know, with this psalm, Mizmor Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflaot Asa, you who have done miracles, let's take a moment to shout out what amazed us or filled us with awe or gratitude or wonder or just a simple moment of enjoyment today or sometime in this past week that you want to give a shout out, you know, thank you for. The peonies. I always thought that was the funniest flower name when I was growing up. It was a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Us staying alive. A saved life. Amen. Laparoscopic surgery. Just the fact of it. Yes. Somebody else fed my kids dinner. Got it. Yes. And is cleaning up. It's true. God bless the Mishkan staff. The teen davening team upstairs. For everybody who heard them. And for Matthew Ellenwood, who is their fearless leader. Yeah. Our music director. Amazing. It's really an awesome sight to see a bunch of teens joyfully performing Jewish music. There's going to be an Ufruf here today? Yeah, for your sister and brother-in-law. We can shout now, we can shout later. Woo! Anything else? Say one. Being here and being inspired. We'll take it. You're reading a good book. Do you want to tell us what it is? Your brain's not broke. About ADHD. Curious? Talk to Avery about it. Amazing. You finished 4 tests yesterday. Amazing. Congratulations. And like for all the high school students who are about done with their year, Yasher Koach. Yeah. We had an Alta Cocker breakfast today. You know, that is something to celebrate every time. Challah French toast. I didn't hear it. Your summer break started. Yes. You have a mom and dad? A good mom and dad, even better. She didn't pay him to say that. You know, I really want to stretch this out because it's like, think of the number of hours we spend encountering things that make us feel exactly the opposite throughout the rest of the week. So this really has to be like an inoculation. All right, well, we're going to be at the bottom of 7. Anna bekorach gedulat yemincha
Tzerura, Kabel Rinat, Rinat Hatam Chasak Venu Tareinu Nora, Anna Bekoach Gedulat Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Tatir Tzerura, Kabel Rinat, Rinat Hatam Chasak Venu Tareinu Nora. Bekoach Gedulat Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Tatir Tzerura, Kabel Rinat, Rinat Hatam Chasak Venu Tareinu Nora.
We're going to stand and actually move up to the top of the page. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai, Neli, Havu Ladonai, Kavod Vaoz, Havu Ladonai, Kevod Shemo, Ishtachavu Ladonai, V'Hadrat Kodesh, Kol Ladonai, Al Hamayim El HaKavod, Yirim Adonai, Hamayim Rabim, Kol Adonai B'Koach, Kol Adonai B'Hadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, V'Yishaver Adonai et Arze HaLebanon, V'Yarkidei Kimo Egel Lebanon, V'Sirion Kemo V'Remim, Kol Adonai Chotzer Lavodesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Holel Layalot, Layez V'Sod, Yerod Hechalom, V'Omer Kavod, Adonai L'Mabu Yashav, V'Yeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam, Adonai Yos Le'amo Yitei, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. We can take a seat. We can take off all our clothes. Sorry. Did I say that out loud? only wore one layer, and I'm regretting it right now. That's just what they say in Chicago, is wear layers, and I'm like a Chicagoan in my bones, and take the advice we give anybody on a day when there's weather. Anyway, sorry about that inner monologue just being out loud just then. Okay, there is this idea in Jewish literature that Shavuot, the holiday I mentioned earlier, is actually like our wedding anniversary. Like the Jewish people's wedding anniversary, because we, the Jewish people, are married to God. Surprise.
What? No way.
And so, right, the courtship was the miracles, the signs and wonders of Egypt, the splitting of the sea, God guiding us by the hand through the desert, and then the chuppah is Mount Sinai, and the Ten Commandments are the wedding vows, and the Torah is the ketubah. That actually kind of works, right? And I love this idea because instead of the way that so many people, I think, interpret or see religion, which is it's this coercive thing, it's this hierarchical thing, it's this top-down thing, it's this thing that means obedience, fundamentally what the Jewish tradition is saying with that is, you know what? What this tradition about is love. Fundamentally, it's about love and mutuality and care and partnership. That's what it is. Full stop. You know, being seen fully in our strengths and our weaknesses, through thick and thin, what makes us beautiful and deeply annoying, being loved. And like the Jewish people have their moments of shining in the Torah and being deeply annoying. And God walks with them the whole way. And so this idea that we walk the whole way with this partner. And so Ayal and Kira, now I want you to stand up and come on over here if you can, or come somewhere. These folks are getting married next weekend. These beautiful, you can stand right here, wherever it makes it easy for you to be seen and to, I don't know, for me to talk to you. So they're getting married next weekend. You have found among the billions of people on planet Earth the one in whom your heart delight, who your soul desires, whom you love, and whom you want to walk with on this journey through the wilderness. And this is the one you want to plan and partner with on the journey of life. And I've known each of you separately for over a decade. And so I was thrilled when I heard that you were marrying you, and that these two beautiful souls were marrying one another, and that I get to do the wedding is like the cherry on the top of the cake. And the two of you are so well suited to stand in front of one another under the chuppah in front of friends and family next week, but also to be celebrated by this community with the values you share, the humor, the goodness. Anyone who knows you knows all of that and so much more in the two of you. And so a little bit of framing for the blessing I want to give you is that we've been counting the Omer for the past many, many nights, right? 47 to be exact. And so tonight we'll count 48, but we'll focus on a specific divine attribute. With every week of the counting of the Omer, you focus on a different divine attribute. The first week is loving kindness. The second week is boundaries and strength. Third week is harmony, going through basically like imagining the human body going down to the floor. And this week we're in the very last week, which is Malchut, or sovereignty. And so Rabbi Simon Jacobson, who I think you can find all his stuff on Chabad.org, but you can also find it in books, he kind of popularized the day by day by day reflection on this combination of the 7 by 7. And so today we are at Yesod, the foundation, or like the bonding that comes inside of and with sovereignty. And so I wanted to read to you, but also to all of you, what he says about this set of qualities that today we have the opportunity to reflect on, that I thought was fitting for the two of you. He says, healthy independence should not prevent you from bonding with another person. On the contrary, self-confidence allows you to respect and trust another's sovereignty and ultimately bond with them. And that bond will strengthen your own sovereignty rather than diminish it. So he asks us all to ask ourselves, when might my sovereignty be actually getting in the way of me bonding? My self-confidence, my self-asserting, when might that actually get in the way of bonding? And might that be because of deeper insecurities I might not even be aware of? And do I talk with the one with whom I bond and discuss my fears that bonding will compromise my boundaries or my feeling of independence? How comfortable am I with this language, with these ideas? And the two of you, you didn't meet in your teens, you didn't meet in your 20s, you met when you were fully formed human beings with a lifetime of experience behind you. You are independent, self-confident people. And I want to bless you that in every possible way you maintain the sovereignty that you have attained throughout the course of your life, and that the bond that you have and that you're entering into and strengthening, and that your family who's here, your parents, all of your parents, in from near and far, your siblings in this community, your siblings who are going to be in for the wedding, that they see you and support you as you both enhance and uplift one another's independence and also become something larger than just two people in a relationship, but something bigger, which is what a marriage, a good marriage is two individuals with integrity and wholeness entering into something even greater. So I want to bless you that you have all of that and more, and that everyone here gets a little bit, not just from, being in your presence, the overwhelm of blessing that the bride and groom has and gives off all week, and especially on your wedding day, but that all of us know that we have great sovereignty within ourselves, and that actually gives us the ability to connect with others in a really deep way. And we all become better when we do. So mazel tov. Mazel tov. Yeah. And when we get to the last verse of Lecha Dodi, and the tradition is to stand, I'll invite everybody to stand and dance and sing with this couple as a celebration that we all are lucky to get to have with you. We're on page 8. Oh yeah. You can sit down if you want, or stand up this whole time. Let's just...
That was a beautiful piece. I'll be emailing you later to figure out where we'll get that.
It'll be on the live stream for the rest of all of our earthly lives. I want to invite everybody to stand actually on 8. This will be fun. You can stay sitting. All right, Matthew's going to take it away here. Likrakala, Hine Shabbat Nekaven. Try that. Likrakala, Hine Shabbat Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrakala, Hine Shabbat. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad nishmianu el hamiyuchal. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'letiferet ve'letfilah. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrakala, Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat Nekavela. Likrat Shabbat ve'echu v'nelcha ki mekor ha'bracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha tzor ma'aseh v'machshava tfilah.
Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Likrakala, Penei Shabbat, Penei Shabbat.
Turn the page. 9. Lo teboshi ve'lo tikami, ma tishochavi u'ma tehemi. Ba'ach yachasu arniei ami, ve'nivneta ir atila.
Lecha
Shisa Shosai Berachako Komer Alayich Yasis Alayich Elohai Ki Himsos Chatam Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela Yamin Usmol Tifrosi Adonai Tarisi Al Yadish Ben Parti Ben Ismecha Ben Agila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela Leave them open, Ross. Leave open those doors. Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela. We open the doors wide and welcome in the Shabbos bride. Boi beshalom, hateret bala, gam besimcha, uvzola tochemunei, am segula, boi kala. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela. Ay, 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 if it works. Ay, 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 Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Bnei Shabbat Lekabela. One last time. Ay, 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 Mazel tov to y'all. Woo! Woo!
We have more pizza.
Say it. Yeah.
We have more pizza.
If
If anybody
anybody
did not get pizza earlier and felt sad about not getting pizza, we have more pizza.
Right.
Amazing.
The problem is everybody's so well nourished by the davening. We can take a seat. Mazel tov. We turn to page 11. עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נאווה קודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbos.
It's so nice to have you here in this lovely, warm
Bikram Yoga
space.
Studio.
Bikram Studio of Mishkan. I want to welcome people who are here for the first time.
Yeah.
We lovingly outed you earlier, so we know who you are, which is a tradition here to have you stand and share your name.
Do we have that extra mic?
Yeah, do we have that extra mic?
Oh, yeah. Patrick's got it.
Sweet. So we're going to pass the mic around. So if you want to stand up, just share your name, where you're coming from. Usually Chicago neighborhood is appreciated because you'll find some fun connections in the room, wherever you're from. And maybe what brought you here in a sentence.
Yeah.
Do you have any brave
Stand.
volunteers to begin? Anybody? If you're new here, you can stand up.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, wait, hang on, Amy. There's one right by where you were a moment ago, so you may as well, as long as you're. Yeah.
Sure,
Great.
okay. We'll get
you.
I'm Elisa Harris. This is my husband, Ivo Dalder. We live in the Gold Coast. We moved to Chicago 12 years ago and belonged to one shul that didn't quite feel comfortable, and so we're here to try something else.
Oh, we're glad you're
Well,
here.
welcome.
Thank you. And we're here because Lance told us about Mishkan.
Amazing. Well, we
And
love
Ari told us. Sari told us about Mishkan.
Sarah
So,
and Lance are
we're
well
here.
loved here. So,
Thanks
so
to them.
By extension, you must also be lovely people as well. It's a trusted connection. Thank you. We're glad you're here. Do you want to pass it to that way? I thought it was somebody over there.
My name's Gabrielle Savory. I live in Lakeview. I am not Jewish. I was walking down the street and was drawn in.
That's amazing.
And I almost raised and said in the gratitude section to just say what I'm grateful for is just feeling drawn in.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, thank you.
Yes, love it. Welcome, Gabrielle.
Welcome. We say
get
we
to?
love our Jewish adjacent folks.
Yes.
So, anybody else new? This way, that way.
Yes. Thanks, Amy.
Hi, this is really wonderful space. My name is David or David, and I'm a explorer, and I love being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, David.
I'm also David, first timer. Came up from Fulton Market and just had mentioned to a Jewish friend of mine that I hadn't been to a Friday night service in a long time, and he was coming here and invited me. So.
Amazing. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nate. I live in Ravenswood/North Center, and I've been looking to reconnect with the Jewish community, and all roads have led to Mishkan. So here I am.
Welcome, Nate. Nice to see you. Others?
Hi, I'm Layla. I live in Lakeview, just a couple of blocks away. I've lived in Chicago my whole life. Ronan here is my friend, and I'm her nail tech. And I've never had an experience at a Jewish, ceremony, and I wanted to experience it, so we planned it, and I'm here.
Well, we're so glad you're here. And I will say, Ronan's nails are always on point.
They are always on point.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Great.
Pass it to Amy, and Amy will get it there.
Oh, and over there too. Here. Yeah.
Send it back.
Hi, I'm Matilda. I'm from Montana. Recently moved. That's all I got.
All right,
Well, welcome.
great.
We're so glad you're
welcome
here.
to Chicago and to Mishkan. Pass that away.
Hi, I'm Lauren. This is Joelle. And this is
Ellie.
and
Jaden.
all right. And Ellie's 9 and Jaden's 5. And we were at a Memorial Day barbecue, and Lynn here started talking to my husband, Joel, about how I've been looking for a place to connect a little bit more, but also Ellie is going into 4th grade next year, and I know that if we want to do a bat mitzvah, it's something that we need to be thinking about. So, yeah, we're happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, one more up here.
Got one more in the front
Raise your hand up high.
Good evening. My name is Adam Stock. I live up in Evanston, and I was introduced to Rabbi Lizzie by a congregant in the synagogue that I belong to in Evanston called Beth Emmet. We met a week ago. I left feeling a full heart, and in a world where congregational Judaism has been on the substantial decline, and in a country where a lot of people aren't really connecting to organized religion, this community is doing the exact opposite. And I'm kind of thinking of the words of When Harry Met Sally. The I'll have what she is having moment.
Amazing.
And I had breakfast this morning with a mutual friend of ours who said, "You're going to go and you're going to be angry." And I think she was conveying a sense that, like, I was going to be upset that we didn't have a similar spirit at our synagogue right now. And I told her, I don't think that I'm going to be angry. I think that I'm going to be inspired. And there's no ounce of anger inside of me at all. I feel extraordinarily inspired. I feel hopeful for Jews across the country and across the world. And I'm grateful to be sharing this Shabbat with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. You are always welcome to come back and be our spokesperson. Thank you. Anybody else? Great. Announcements?
Just to say, I've been talking about Shavuot so much that it feels like we all celebrated it together already here tonight. But it's actually Sunday night. It's Sunday night, and we at our office, we started last year a tradition where we have like a sermon slam or a story slam. And this year the theme is learning through failure. Failure, the greatest teacher is, said Yoda.
Rabbi Yoda.
Yeah. And so we have a couple community members. Is anybody who's in this room tonight telling a story? I think I saw Mark Wickman. Well, no, I mean, I want, like, this guy is going to be telling, you don't have to tell it now. I'm just saying. Like, there are 6 or 7 people who are all sharing beautiful stories, and we will also serve dinner, and there will also be more dairy food. And then we will all walk over and participate in the Lakeview Shavuot Tikkun, which happens at Anshe Emet, starts at 10 p.m., and it goes all night. It goes until the morning. And before I had children, I used to make it until 4 a.m., and I don't now. However, if you too want to pretend you stayed up all night by showing up at Rabbi Stephen and my minyan on Monday morning, which will still be Shavuot, we're doing 9 a.m. at the office, and we will have cheesecake and coffee.
We will.
And you're invited. And the online link will still work, so you can come online. But it's, we do minyanim. We do the online minyan every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. But it'll be Shavuot, so we're starting at 9. And we like to try to do holidays in person when we can. Makes it more fun. And we'll do all the things you do in a holiday minyan. On the back of your sheet here, there is a ton of stuff letting you know when we're meeting for Friday nights moving forward through June, Saturday mornings through June. We've got some great B mitzvahs coming up. Our Saturday mornings will be at CJDS for the rest of you. I can't see who's behind. Oh, yeah, the Cedarquist kids, Ben and Julia right there, and Ron Charney. These children, these adults, these emerging Jewish adults, are at the tail end of our Bar Mitzvah year, and it's been such an awesome year. And so if you want to continue the inspiration, we invite you to all those ceremonies. And then hopefully the weather for the rest of the month of June is beautiful, and we'll be outdoors at North Center Town Square. There are a ton of different programs that are under where it says smaller stuff here. You can read them if you want to get on our email list and therefore learn about emergent developments like that we've moved inside, for example. Get on our email list, and then you'll get a weekly email, and then emergency communications like that. And Amy, are you in here? I just want to point out, Amy, for anybody who's interested in exploring this community and getting to know it better, Amy Nadal is the person to talk to. I mean, honestly, almost anybody in this room, but she is the force behind the Builder Experience, and we love you. So anyway, I think we should dive into Mariv and go with purpose and dedication and efficiency so that we can hear Caroline teach us Torah.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. I'm going to have folks stand as you're able. We're on page 13, and we're going to face east, which is that word. Yeah. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam
Baruch leolam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'marim. You may be seated if you'd like to. U'ma'avir yom ben layla, u'ma'abdil ben yom ben layla, Adonai Tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'mariv ha'aravim. Page 14, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael Chavta.
Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadat al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach v'kach v'nismach v'divrei Torah.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. We cover our eyes, take a deep breath for each word of the Shema. Shema.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך ובכל מאודיך ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך נפשך ובכל מאודך.
Read through pages 16, 17. Adonai Elohim, Amen. Make our way to page 18. We'll find our way to the bottom of the page. Umalchuto bratzun kiblu aleihem Moshe Miriam uvnei Israel lecha anu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nadar ba'kodesh Norati lo tosef Malchutecha lifnei Moshe Ze Eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'eh V'ne'emar ki fada adna Yaakov Gulom yad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. So there's this beautiful moment of the Israelites gathered at the foot of Mount Sinai to receive Torah. And we're told each and every Israelite was there. And I imagine there are those who are experiencing revelation in that moment with full hearts, with awe, wonder, gratitude. But I imagine because everyone was there, there was also people with broken hearts who are holding illness in their bodies, their spirit, their minds, who are on fertility journeys or struggling with addiction, who had survived war or hardship, who are still afraid. In the Torah this week, we open it and we're taught that after Revelation, Moses goes around and does a census, counts every single person and says, you and you and you, looking each of them in the eyes and seeing them in their wholeness of self, including the broken parts, remembering that all those pieces are welcome in sacred space. And so we take a moment and call to mind those people, you and you and you, who we're thinking of. We're just in need of an extra prayer tonight, a prayer of healing, a prayer of peace, a prayer of safety. Maybe that person is yourself. You take a moment, I want you to say those names out loud, as if we're taking a census of our own, of all those in need of our love, care, and attention this evening. We bring them into this space to say that you are also welcome in sacred space. All of you, the whole parts, the broken parts, the healed parts and the hurting parts, parts in need of a little extra love this Shabbat. We're on page 19.
Pick up with the words Ushmor Tzeitenu. Ushmor Tzeitenu Vo'enu. Ushmor Tzeitenu Vo'enu. Ushmor Tzeitenu Vo'enu. Ushmor Tzeitenu Vo'enu. L'chaim u'l'shalom. מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכה, שלומך לחיים ולשלום. מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכה, שלומך. ושמור צאתנו בואנו,
לחיים ולשלום, ואתה ביד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכה, שלומך לחיים ולשלום, ואתה ביד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכה,
We're gonna stand.
שלומך
turn to page 21, we take a moment for personal silent prayer. You can use the words of the Siddur, which go from 21 through page 27. Or you can use whatever words come to your heart or mind. The tradition is to take 3 steps back and 3 small steps forward as if entering a space all of your own. And when you feel like your prayer is completed, you can have a seat. on Shavuot, the custom is to read the book of Ruth. And one of the reasons that we read this book is that it is about an individual who, at great risk and great cost to herself, chooses to become part of the Jewish people. Shavuot is often a holiday in which we celebrate the Jews by choice in our community to lift up all the ways that we actively choose Judaism, whether we're born into this tradition or came to it later in life. And one of the joys that I have getting to teach many of our Jews by choice as they become part of the Jewish people is to hear their Torah, which is and profound and often startlingly revelatory, because they bring their own unique lens to this tradition in ways that are beautiful and surprising and new. And so it is my great pleasure to introduce Caroline Miller, who's going to be sharing some words of Torah, and not only as somebody who has embraced our people, but also embraced a position of leadership in our people, right? You might recognize her because she's right here, sitting in the davening team, and also has volunteered in so many other ways of helping build this Mishkan and making the Jewish people much better for it. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Wow, that was such a warm welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Like Rabbi Stephen said, I'm Caroline, and I converted to Judaism with Mishkan a few years ago. And every once in a while, when I tell people that I converted, non-Jews will look at me like I got tricked by an evangelizing rabbi who was going door to door, peddling the Torah. But Jews don't seek out new converts. We don't convert people. Converts to Judaism not only come to the religion completely on their own, but they take on quite the challenge when they decide to convert. It takes about a year of reading and learning and classes, and after that you have a Beit Din, which is Hebrew for house of judgment, totally not intimidating. And that is where a rabbinical court asks you questions and determines whether or not you should join the Jewish people. And if you pass, you get to go to the mikveh. And then, once you've done that, you're officially a Jew. Hooray! And it makes sense for the conversion process to Judaism to be long and intricate because Judaism is an intricate, multifaceted religion with an intricate, multifaceted culture. Our history as a Jewish people is complex and often tragic. Our present day as Jews is also complex and often tragic, as we have seen in the last 2 weeks alone. So it makes sense that Jews don't just let people in on a whim. But when someone has completed that process, they are not only welcomed into the Jewish religion, but celebrated as a full-fledged member of the Jewish people. When you convert to Judaism, you're not only Jewish, you are a Jew. Shavuot, the holiday we are celebrating today with copious amounts of dairy, is a way where we can celebrate our converts. We read the book of Ruth, like Rabbi Stephen said. She was the very first convert, and we discuss how the souls of converts were also present at Mount Sinai when God delivered the Torah to Moses in the desert. But why did God pick the desert? Because, as we all know, the Israelites notoriously hated the desert. They complained the entire time. So it's an odd choice for God to give Moses the Torah in such an unglamorous place, but when you think about it, God's choice does make sense. The desert is a wide and empty place, and that's the perfect backdrop to see the vastness of the Torah. Sometimes you have to be in an empty place before you can receive something that is truly immense. But while the Torah was fantastic, the desert was not fantastic. And we have all had our own personal deserts and places where we have felt empty and lost. I became lost about 6 years ago. I used to be a professional classical musician, and I played the bassoon, and not to brag, but I was good. I played with multiple professional orchestras. I played in music festivals from coast to coast. I was a finalist for the master's program at Juilliard. I got into the Manhattan School of Music on scholarship to study with the principal bassoonist of the Metropolitan Opera. I could not afford that though, so I accepted a fellowship to study at a great school in Texas for my master's degree. Music was my entire life, and it had been since I was a child. I had no life outside of music because between the hours of lessons and practicing and reed making and auditioning, there was simply no room for a life. I sacrificed a great deal to pursue my dream, and it seemed to be paying off, but then I got sick. I got really sick. The summer between my first and the second year of my master's degree, I was diagnosed with a chronic illness. The average life expectancy of someone with my illness is a decade shorter than the average person. 30% of us are unemployed because of our illness, and 20% of us will ultimately die as a result of it. This grim prognosis, combined with the hand tremors that was caused by the medicine I had to take to keep my illness in check, made performing extremely difficult. My professors were very sympathetic, but ultimately there was nothing that anyone could really do because the classical music industry is extremely competitive, and there's no time to be chronically ill. It is sink or swim, and I sank. The symptoms of my illness, combined with the tremors in my hands caused by my medication, led to countless humiliating performances and lessons and auditions, and my reality just crumbled. I lost my career, I lost my future, I lost my community, and I really lost a huge part of myself. I realized that while I desperately needed music, the classical music industry did not need me at all. I was completely replaceable. I was a dime a dozen. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of other bassoonists equally qualified as me, and 99% of them did not have a debilitating illness that made their hands shake because of the medication. So, my own biology sabotaged me, which enticed a level of self-hatred that I did not know was possible. And then, after 11 years of pursuing my dream, I quit. I quit because if I kept going, I knew that it would literally kill me. I did not play music anymore. I didn't even touch my bassoon for several years. I did not listen to music unless I had to. My life's goal and also my identity was gone. And this was how I started wandering through my own personal desert. So over the next 2 years, I started all over because I had to. I had no marketable skills. I sold sunglasses at the mall, and I was honestly ashamed and miserable, but slowly I started to pick up the pieces of myself. I began a relationship with my now fiance. I went back to school for software development, and I got a job. But there was a vast void in my life where music used to be. I tried filling the void with a few different things, but none of them really stuck. And one day, my fiance and I moved from Texas to Chicago, and Chicago felt bizarrely familiar, even though I'd only been here for 1 day before. It was like I had taken off a backpack full of bricks, and I was instantly so much happier, and I felt hopeful. And on a run in November of 2022, I had a really random thought, and the thought simply was, maybe I should convert to Judaism. And I was like, this is the weirdest intrusive thought I've ever had in my entire life. No one had talked to me about Judaism. The only Jewish thing that I had been recently aware of was an extremely anti-Semitic Twitter rampage by a certain rapper. And that definitely did not make being Jewish look like a whole lot of fun. So I did not know where this thought came from, but I went home, I went to Google, and I Googled, what do Jewish people believe? And myjewishlearning.com gave me, yes. I love myjewishlearning.com. This is not a sponsorship. But they gave me the basic beliefs of the Jews, and I thought, wait a second, this is what I've thought my entire life, and I thought I was just a bad Christian, but it turns out I might just be Jewish. So I emailed Rabbi Stephen about joining what was then called Exploring Judaism, and he generously let me join the class 3 weeks late, so I wouldn't have to wait another year. And and classes started, and things just felt great. Rabbi Stevens' coursework was exciting and challenging, but it also felt familiar and nourishing at the same time. Everything I was learning about felt just right. And as the months went by, I felt the pieces of me sliding into place as part of a larger, beautiful puzzle. I developed friendships that I cherish to this day, and I learned from my parents that I actually have Jewish ancestors with a long history in Chicago, which was a complete surprise to me, but it explained a lot. No wonder I feel so at home in Chicago. No wonder that side of my family is racked with anxiety and paranoia problems. So as I learned more about Judaism and my family and myself, I started to feel like perhaps I had found my place. When the camp of the Israelites is described in this week's Parsha, it reads, quote, "And there Israel camped opposite the mountain." But unlike all of the other mentions of the Israelite camp in the Torah, where it is described as the plural, vayachanu, this particular instance uses the singular, vayachan. This singular word choice paints the Israelites being described as one unbreakable entity. All of our souls were accounted for at Sinai. Our fates as a Jewish people inextricably intertwined with one another through time. The Israelites physically present at Sinai started a series of chain reactions that led to you and I being Jews, or simply being in this space today. For those born Jewish, a miraculously unbroken genetic chain led you here. And for converts, our non-Jewish lineage brought us here just the same. My mom, who curates literally thousands of historical garments for local museums as a volunteer, she taught me tzedakah, righteousness and giving. The level-headed scientific mindset of my dad, who stays calm even in the most stressful of situations, taught me menuchat hanefesh, calm and composure. The unconditional warmth and generosity that my older brother shows to literally everyone he meets, sometimes even at his own expense because he's that nice, he taught me chesed, kindness. Maybe your family taught you similar things. Maybe it was your friends, or maybe you had to learn from people who only showed you what not to do. But each of us has our own chain reaction that brought us to here, now, in our Jewish journey, and each of us can be traced back to Sinai. My Beit Din was in mid-July of 2023, and I recited a number of affirmations, including, "I hereby affirm of my own free will my commitment to Judaism and the people Israel." As Ruth said to Naomi, "Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." My mikvah was August 25th, 2023, and I was officially a Jew. Hooray! But I didn't really think I would be important or valuable to the Jewish community because I was like, I'm just happy to be here. This is fun, cool. But Judaism is not a spectator sport. Rabbi Lizzie told me at my Beit Din that Judaism was like a muscle and that without exercise, it would start to atrophy. And of course, she's right, because what do we learn from Ruth, the first convert? We learn that converts are not only full members of the Jewish community, but that we must contribute to the community. Ruth showed unwavering loyalty by caring for her mother-in-law, moving to a new land, and taking on a new people. And so Ruth is a big deal. And if you are a convert, almost convert, or born Jew, you are also a really big deal because we are called to share our strengths with the world as Jews. We need to just look within ourselves, see our strengths, and then look around you. There's always a place where you can apply them. So find that space. Work your Jewish muscles and follow Rabbi Lizzie's advice. For me, I built my Jewish workout over time. I joined the Torah study small group. I became a mentor for Blueprint students. And I also performed and wrote skits with the Purim Spiel team. But my biggest and favorite Jewish workout of all is being on the davening team. I was pretty scared to audition for the davening team, given everything that I'd gone through with music, but I had a gut feeling that was just telling me that I should try it. And I was accepted onto the team, which genuinely surprised me because I had not had a successful audition for anything since 2018. So, new leaf for me. So my first rehearsal with the team reminded me why I fell in love with music in the first place, because the davening team is joyful and fun and creative. And being a part of it gave me the second chance with music that I so desperately needed. And then, before I knew it, I was playing the flute solo at Kol Nidre last year, facing my demons head on in front of over 1,000 people. Aw. Thank you, whoever said that. That's very nice of you. And as I stepped up to the microphone holding my flute from 8th grade, I had a feeling of calm wash over me, and that had never happened to me before a performance before. And I began to play, and there was no tremor, and miraculously, there I was. I was playing music for people. It was happening. And and I realized, standing there in front of our community, that two things can be true at the same time. We can have things about ourselves that we would give anything to change or erase, and we can still do incredible things. As Jews, we accomplish things not in spite of the burdens that we carry, but because of the lessons that we learn from them. And I knew then that my painful loss years before was not pointless suffering, but it was just a necessary step towards something better. Getting diagnosed with my illness 6 years ago was undoubtedly the worst thing that has ever happened to me, which is why I rarely disclose or discuss my illness, even with my own family. But this beautiful life I get to live now, and that I get to be here with you guys, like, it's so worth it. And in the words of Rabbi Shafik Gold, the harsh inner reality of the wilderness purified whatever traces of enslavement that we still carry. This wilderness is the midwife of our new life after long and hard labor. The wilderness forces us to face the resistance and the ambivalence and the self-delusion that has kept us from receiving our birthright, the promised flow of milk and honey that is given to us and through us with each moment of life. In the wilderness, we are stripped of disguises. Each part within us is forced to show its true face. Judaism and this community at Mishkan has changed my life, but I have not changed. Instead, I've been taught the radical notion that I'm good the way I am. And the void that I felt in myself after I left the music profession was not a void at all, but it was a delusion that I needed external validation to justify existing. Judaism did not fill a void. It showed me that we do not have voids. We are all born complete. And from that base of acceptance, I've been able to grow in ways that I truly did not think were possible for me. So my hope for all of the converts, the almost converts, and the born Jews here today is that we can see your strengths demonstrated in our community. And I want you to say yes to opportunities, even if they might be outside your comfort zone, because at the end of the day, the Jewish community needs you. You specifically, like I'm gesturing to everyone, but I mean everyone individually. We need you. We need your experiences, your thoughts, and your hopes. Your divine existence makes you inherently impossible to replace. We are each a universe, so show us what your universe is like. Because there's no telling how far that we will grow together, many beautiful and different humans as one Jewish people. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for blessing us. Now, stay standing. You're in the right position. You're in the right position. Don't go anywhere. Let's count the Omer together. Thank you, Caroline, for blessing us with your Torah tonight. Pull out the little sheet. We'll sing our way through an intention.
theme of the Omer is bringing healing to the world through ourselves, through all of the combinations of the Sefirot, like I talked about earlier. May we bring healing to the world. The counting of the Omer is a counting, and I'm conscious and struck this week. Many people were observing that it has been 600 days since October 7th of 2023, and it's not over, and hostages still languish, and children and people are still dying every day in Gaza, and we, to whatever extent we can, let us be part of bringing healing and ending war. Period. Full stop. Let us. So whatever intention you want to set for the healing that you might create in this world. So we said it. L'shem yichud kud shabrichu ushchinte. L'shem yichud kud shabrichu ushchinte. Hineni mochan umezuman לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר, של ספירת העומר. שבע שבתות תמימות תהיינה, שבע שבתות תמימות תהיינה. מצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת העומר, על ספירת העומר, על ספירת העומר, על ספירת העומר. I'm seeing that I changed the Hebrew and the transliteration, but not the translation. So today's actually we're going to say it in Hebrew. And then I'll give it away. Hayom Shmona va'arba'im yom shehem shisha shavuot v'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 48th day of the Omer, which is 6 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Yes. And tomorrow's 49, and then on 50, it's Shavuot. All right, we turned to 32 in our Siddur. Let's wrap this service. Let's turn to 33, actually.
remain standing if you're thinking of somebody today on a yard site or you're in a period of mourning. Let's take a moment to go around the room and bring their memories into the space by naming those that we're thinking of out loud. That we missed. Join us on page 34 for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alma divrach chirute ve'amlich malchute b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chaye zachol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Omei Almaya Yitbarach Vishtabach Vitpa'ar Vitroman Vitnase Vithadar Vitale Vithalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata Veshirata Tushbechata Venechamata Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Yehi zichronam livracha. May all their memories be for a blessing.
Amen, amen. So I feel like there were waves of people who, like, the first wave left with children, and then the second wave left with slightly older children, and you guys are like the strong, the mighty, the hangers-on, and you will be rewarded with challah and ice cream. But for all of the teen davening team and teens who are still here, I want to invite you to come and gather around anybody who's got a microphone, because we're going to sing some things that you might recognize and maybe have spent months practicing. So, you know, come and gather around, get in cozy. Benji's got a microphone next to him. Brandon's over there. And, yeah. And I want to invite all of us to look here at the bottom of our little sheet here. Shalom Aleichem. Yeah, come gather around.
Get in.
Be pushy. Yeah, find a mic. Go. Yes. This is fine.
Yeah, you're great.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I feel like I started it too low. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom. Let's raise a glass. And if you want to join us for Kiddush, we're on page, I don't know, 30 maybe? Yeah. Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah b'anu v'shabbat kodsho
be'ahava u'b'ratzon
hichilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki banu b'charta v'otanu kiddashta im kol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshcha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hichaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
And we're going to reveal the challah.
And we've got 3. They're going to go in 3 directions like a peace
These
sign.
lovely teen davening team members are going to hold
So
this
take the
challah.
tray once you get it passed to you. Take a
Yeah.
piece of bread and then pass the tray.
Yeah, but first we're going to bless it. So lift the challah up and raise your hands toward somebody who's reaching towards the challah. If you don't know them, maybe say hi first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Hoseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei Tel ve'imru Amen. Shabbat Shalom.